Hello, I'm Spencer, and today we're going to be doing the wrist exam. There are three views for the wrist exam: the PA, the lateral, and the oblique. So I've already got my patient here, and of course asked her if she's pregnant, and if she's ever had an x-ray and how she injured herself, you know, the background information. And now we're ready to move on to the exam. Got my patient, Brittany, the lovely Brittany, and I've got my cassette, my lead shield, and my marker. So the first exam we're going to do is the PA. First of all, I want to make sure that she's protected from the radiation, so I'm going to cover her lap with my lead strip. Next, I'm going to move my cassette into position, and if you notice, her legs are out from under the table. That way, when we expose, we're not exposing her to unnecessary radiation. So if you would set your wrist on my cassette, thank you. Now this is different equipment than you're probably used to in the classroom. This is Memorial. You'll probably be here at some point, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, so we're going to line up our carpals to the center of the film. And if you notice, it's not diagonal. So I'm going to cock the box. Make a quick adjustment here. There we go. So now we've got our CR. The crosshairs are running perpendicular, running with her arm. So we've got our carpals to the middle. I'm gonna open up my collimation because you want to get a lot of the wrist, you know, a lot of the radius and ulna, in case there's any injury more proximal. Next, I'm going to have Brittany curl her fingers. This brings the carpals closer to the cassette. And I'm going to mark it with my left marker on the outside, the lateral side. And then I would adjust her just slightly, make sure that her radius and ulna are kind of parallel to the film. And then we would expose. So we've already taken our PA and we're moving on to the oblique. Now it's basically the same position, except we're going to rotate her wrist 45 degrees. So if you can see, the plane of the film and her wrist make a 45-degree angle. Carpals to the center of the film, fingers curled. Just adjust my box just a little bit. And I'll mark with the left marker on the outside, on the lateral side. And then we make the exposure. So we just finished the oblique. And we're going to take it, I've replaced my film with a new cassette, and we're going to move on to the lateral. So for that, I'm just going to, hey Brittany, can you just do the karate chop? That's what I like to tell them, karate chop, because most people know what that entails. So once again, carpals to the center of the film, thumb up, fingers straight. I like to come back and palpate the radius and ulna, and I just rotate it back just a little, make sure they're perpendicular to my film. Looks good. Maybe collimate in a little. You usually have to collimate a little more because it's a lateral, so it's not as wide. And I'll readjust my marker, and there's the lateral position. So that was the wrist exam. to recap, use a 10x12 cassette, 40-inch SID. There's the PA, the oblique, and the lateral views. Remember on the PA to curl the fingers, bring the carpals closer to the IR, and on the lateral keep the thumb up. And that is essentially the wrist.